Hi, boys and girls. This is Quivers Crab Cake here. Boys and girls, today we're going to read a story titled Around America to Win the Vote. And this book was written by Mara Rockliff, and the pictures were drawn by Hadley Hooper. On April 6, 1916, a little yellow car set out for New York City. It carried tools, spare parts, a teeny tiny typewriter, an itsy bitsy sewing machine, one stout leather trunk bursting with useful things, two smiling women, and a wee black kitten with a yellow ribbon tied around his neck. The taller woman was Nell Richardson, the smaller woman was Alex Burke. Together, they planned to drive all the way around America. It was a great big country, but they had a great big cause. Votes for women, Alice told reporters. Votes for women, Nell agreed. They said the typewriter and the sewing machine were all part of their plan. If anyone said women didn't have the brains to vote, then Nell would dash them a poem right off then and there to prove they did. If anyone said they should cook and sew and leave running the nation to the men, then Nell would whip up an apron while Alice gave a speech to prove they could do both. And two of them and if the two of them could circle the United States, 10,000 bumpy, muddy, unmapped miles facing danger and adventure all alone, with just each other and a kitten in their little yellow car. Well, that would prove that women could do anything. So off they went. Blizzard, Nell and Alice drove through howling wind and swirling snow to Baltimore. When they arrived in time to be the guest of honor at a very fancy party. The next day, when they stopped for gas, a crowd of men clustered around a little yellow car. Alice hopped up on the seat to give her speech, but no one listened. So she told them all about the car instead. Votes for women, the men said, and waved at Nell and Alice drove away. After a quick visit to Washington, D.C., they came upon the bumpiest and muddiest road yet. The little yellow car went bump and squelch and finally got stuck. They huddled wet and shivering until the sun came up and the two strong mules appeared to pull their cars out of the mud. In Virginia, Nell and Alice passed a school, and all the children ran to see the little yellow car. They drove into North Carolina, passing fields of singing birds and butterflies and goldenrod. And nearly fell into a hole where a bridge used to be. Next came deep puddles, sticky clay, and thick, wet sand. In South Carolina, a whole town turned out and treated them to an all-yellow lunch. In Georgia, they joined a circus parade. Everywhere they met crowds. Everywhere Nell and Alice told, vote for women's. Outside Gulfport, Mississippi, the little yellow car finally found a mud puddle it couldn't cross. They sneaked the kitten onto a train. and smuggled it into a fine hotel in New Orleans. Then a little car arrived and they were on their way. They dodged bullets by the Rio Grande, drove on through the desert of New Mexico, and got lost for days in Arizona. Till finally, they reached California, where they won a medal at the fair for driving all the way across America. But they still had lots of miles and lots of adventures on the road ahead. On September 30th, 1916, a little yellow car drove into New York City. It carried mud and dust and signatures and souvenirs from all around America. Two smiling and sunburned women and a full-grown cat. They arrived to a grand welcome. And a great big yellow cake. After 10,000 bumpy, muddy, unmapped miles, Nell was ready for a rest, and Alice. She turned right around and crossed the country all over again. This time, she took the train. The end, boys and girls. Boys and girls, hope you enjoyed that story. Today, boys and girls, our African American person that we're going to talk about is Harriet Tudman. Harriet Tubman, born a slave, and her story could have ended there. Instead, she persisted, escaping from slavery and becoming the most famous conductor on the Underground Railroad. She risked her life many times to lead countless slaves to freedom, including her family, friends, and strangers. Every person she led to freedom arrived safely. I should fight for the liberty as long as my strength lasted. And boys and girls, here's a picture of Harriet Tudman. Boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed our story for today. See you the next time. Bye-bye.